Little Kitty Big City is one of those games where it's nowhere near bad, but it also is nowhere near a game for everybody. In Little Kitty Big City, you play as an unnamed cat that falls off the top of a tower, and your main objective is to make it back home. Of course, it isn't just going to be a straight shot back to the top. Your main hurdle is that you haven't eaten in a while, so you don't have enough energy to climb back up. Come to think of it, the best way I can describe this game is if you took a short hike, a game I covered 3 years ago, but don't watch that video, it's really bad, and mixed it with Stray, the only other cat game I can think of. Anyways, in the opening little cutscene, your cat grabs a bird to slow their fall. This raven becomes your pseudo-helper for the first little bit of the game, as it offers you a fish if you help it find scraps. Each fish you find and eat increases your climbing stamina and are required to beat the game, but I'm getting a little ahead of myself. The starting area teaches you all of your controls, like breaking out a trash can or knocking things over, and most importantly how jumping works. If you just tap the A button, then you jump like any other game, but if you hold down the A button, you can make a more exact jump, which to be honest is mostly just used to jump further. This isn't a game where you have to make a bunch of precise jumps. Unfortunately, this isn't the cat version of getting over it, although that is a free idea for anybody who wants to use it. I think my favorite part of this game is that you can just be a little shit if you want. With this being in a city, of course there are people everywhere, and you can just flat out ruin their days. You can trip them, steal their stuff, go into their stores and break stuff, just be a complete menace. Or you can be nice and let them pet you. I think the devs knew that people would do this because there is a quest to steal someone's phone. Although the people do stomp away angrily if you're mean to them, so maybe don't do that. The raven will give you a fish if you bring him 25 shinies. These are little collectibles that you find all throughout the map. Most of them are sitting out in the open, but there's occasional one hidden in a bush or something. Exploring around this area, you'll find a raccoon that is stuck in a pipe, and if you help her out and bring her 3 feathers, you'll unlock the first fast travel spot. There's little blue birds that fly around the map, and if you pounce on them, they'll drop a feather. As far as I know, the feathers are only used to unlock fast travel points. Don't get it wrong, the birds won't just let you pounce on them. You either have to sneak up on them or steal a piece of bread from a person and then give it to them. Another interesting thing about this city is that there's giant puddles everywhere. Of course, you being a cat, you can't touch the water without freaking out and jumping back. It's kind of funny because the humans don't really care about the puddles and just will walk right through them. Along with the puddles, there are also dogs that will bark if you get close to them. Eventually you can find bones to calm them down, but for right now they don't like you. I mean, maybe if the cat just grew up, you could just walk by, but it's too scared. Like, grow up, guy. Come on. The last character that's really notable in this area is the beetle, where after you do their side quest, you unlock the camera feature, which I used exactly 1 time. Very stunning picture, I know. Unfortunately, this isn't the only bug you'll run into in a Little Kitty Big City. I ran into a fair amount of visual bugs throughout the entire game, like where the cat's model would just start to break and glitch around a little bit. There's also a few times where I'd jump onto something and then it would just clip on the object above it. I didn't run into anything super game breaking, but it's definitely very noticeable. Alright, so you get your 25 shinies and give them to the crow to unlock your first little bit of stamina you need to climb up the green vines scattered throughout the map. Of course you won't be able to climb everywhere, given that this is just the first fish, but it does open up the world a lot. The first thing you'll run into after climbing the vines that are literally right in front of you is a duck looking for his 4 kids. This is like the biggest side quest of the game, but there really isn't a point not to do it because most of the ducks are in places you'll go anyways. Unless you're like me and are completely map blind, you'll go down the road to your right and get the first duckling. Come to think of it, I'm probably the reason devs put yellow paint everywhere, so I'm sorry guys, I'm the problem. I somehow managed a sequence break and find the 4th duck first, which requires a 2nd fish to get to, before I got the first duck, which is literally in the building right next to the quest. So don't be like me, learn how to read a map. For your troubles of getting all the ducklings back to their dad, you get rewarded with a hat. Hats are like the main collectible that can be found throughout the world, either by doing side quests or by buying them from the Raven for 5 shinies each. There's a wide variety of hats from like a ladybug to a banana, but by far my favorite one was the turtle hat. It's just peak, just look at it, it's peak. Your reward for making it all the way back up to the top of the tower is getting a collar from your owner and getting to finally name yourself. And I chose a very original name. As I said a little bit ago, there are a lot of visual bugs, but honestly the most annoying part of this game is just how much the characters talk. They just drone on forever for no practical reason. There's certain parts where it feels like characters' text boxes take up a third of the screen. Luckily you can just mash the A button and get through it all, but there's just no point for like half of it. I don't know. I do want to end this video on a high note though. I think the best part of Little Kitty Big City is the attention to detail with how the cat interacts with the world by just doing cat stuff. Like, turning a circle is like the smoothest experience ever for no reason. Like, they truly did not have to go as hard of that as they did. Also, just little things like they have places where you can just take naps, or like hopping in a box, just stuff like that. This is definitely a game to play and just shut your brain off and relax, which is nothing to scoff at, just don't expect anything too grand. I would still recommend this game to people, just probably not to everybody. Alright, that's all I got. Subscribe if you want to. Thanks for watching. See ya.